Hello, this is my second video on this subject. LED lighting, stop and tail versus conventional 21 watt stop and tail bulb. The problem I've found is that, first of all, the LED, being very energy efficient and all that, provides a very white light which is right up the blue end of the spectrum. The standard bulb gives quite an orangey light which is very close to red, and the longer wavelength at the bottom end of the light spectrum, nearer the colour of your stop light on the back of the motorcycle. Same applies to a car. Now these are sold on eBay as a direct replacement to the conventional stop and tail light bulb. Now let me show you how dangerous these are. First of all, I'm going to ditch the lights. We've got two motorcycles here which I've lined up exactly the same distance from the camera. The one on the left is a 750 Ducati, and as you can see, the brake light is clearly visible in poor lighting conditions. On the right here we have a 1000cc ex-police Kawasaki 1000, and again you can see the brake light is very efficient. So bright is it that the camera has to adjust for the extra brightness. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to replace the standard bulb with the LED replacement. Now this is a test that the Chinese failed to do. They failed to understand anything about wavelength. There you can see the bulb. If I actually just ditch the lights for a second, it's not really bright, but it's as bright as the other one, simply because there's no attenuation through the lens. If I brake, again, you can see the light is much brighter. Now we remove the standard bulb and we put in a replacement which provides 500 lumens of very bright bluish light on side light and only 650 on stop light. That's 1/5 more when you apply the brakes. Now even without the lens, the difference is barely noticeable. Yes, it's nice and bright, but you can't drive around with a white light at the back of a motor vehicle, not in any country. So let's put the reflective lens back on, the red lens. I'll screw that back on. A standard light bulb is 5 times brighter on stop. The LED 1/5 brighter. Now you'll see the difference. Or perhaps you won't see the difference. Brake on, brake off. Brake on, brake off. Brake on, brake off. Brake on, brake off. The difference is impossible to see. You will absolutely guaranteed get tail-ended if you fit LED lights to a motorcycle. Let's try it even in daylight conditions with the light on it. First of all, with the Ducati, you can see the difference, and with the other one, the LED bulb, virtually no difference at all. Remember, in daytime, the law wants us to drive around with our lights on, which makes applying the stoplight in daytime, it has to be visible. And there should be a law against these. Let's go back to a nice brand new light bulb. 5 watt, 25 watt, sorry, 5 21 watt, which incidentally on stop puts out 1200 lumens as opposed to 600 lumens with the LED bulb. Now you can see what I'm talking about. Again, in daylight, or simulated daylight, if we can call it that, you can clearly see the brake being applied, as you can on the Ducati. And at night time, most important of all, the difference there is absolutely total. So please, this is a plea from my heart, the bottom of my heart. I would sooner buy you these bulbs than you waste your money buying these on eBay, made by the Chinese, and using these as replacement stop and tail bulbs. Equally so, I don't want to see these fitted to cars. If the car in front of me is fitted with these and brakes, I might run into the back of him because I can't see that he's applied his brakes. That's how dangerous these are. By all means, use them in torches, use them in headlights, use them in side lights, use them in indicators, that's fine. Do not use them behind a red lens, which is the opposite end of the spectrum from which this bulb is actually producing light, because it's almost a blue light. And stick with the old ones, the ones you know work well. Same as me, I'm an oldie. Thanks for watching. Be safe.